Yo, what is up guys, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Zoom H4N. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is the microphone itself, and I'm currently recording the audio on it, if you haven't realized. So yeah, this is what it sounds like, and pretty much all my videos since Christmas, I've been using this to record the audio. So if you want to go check back on some of them videos, just to listen in, to hear the audio, then that's totally cool, and don't forget to thumbs up the video while you're there. So this microphone can record in multiple different formats and bit rates, and tons of stuff like that. It can record at 44.1 kilohertz at 16-bit or 24. It can record at 48 kilohertz and 96 kilohertz. So each one it can record at 16-bit or 24-bit. So yeah, that's really cool. And there is so many options on this thing. It's crazy. So this thing can basically do so much. If I was actually going to make a full video on everything that it did, it would end up like a documentary, so I'm going to kind of cut it down a bit and just tell you the basic kind of features that you'll probably use on a daily basis to record your audio. Okay, so first of all, you can use it as an actual microphone, like I'm doing now. So if you want to go around and use it as a field recorder, then you can totally do that. It's got a 90-degree range to a 120-degree range, so you can turn the ends there and it will adjust that. So this is an XY pattern microphone, and it's a stereo microphone, so it will pick up your left and right. You can convert it to mono in the settings there, and you can change a bunch of other stuff, so yeah. But this thing is really good, and it does come with a ton of accessories. I got the one with the accessory pack, but I was quite surprised at actually how many accessories came with the actual thing itself. So it did come with this foam end, and it also came with batteries, and it came with a kind of grip thingy as well, which was kind of cool. But in my accessory pack, it came with quite a lot of stuff. It came with like a dead cat. It came with a tripod and a remote thing and a bunch of weird stuff. It came with a camera mount as well, which is kind of useful. So yeah, I'm kind of glad I got the accessory pack. I think it was about £20 more for me, about $30 more. I'm not too sure how much it is on Amazon.com. But in the UK it was about £20 more, I think. But overall I think it's a really good deal, and I would highly recommend this. I'm probably going to get another microphone, maybe a shotgun microphone to plug into the bottom, because this can actually, if you didn't know, this is a portable interface basically, and it's got two XLR ports in the bottom there. So that's really useful, and it also has a 3.5mm input as well, and an output, so you can actually listen to how this sounds live as you're speaking into it. So that's so cool, and that is just enough features to sell it to me, and yet there's more. So this thing isn't just a field recorder, it's also an interface, as I said before, and it's also a microphone for your computer. So basically what that means is you can plug it into your laptop or your desktop, and you can use this as an actual mic, like a plug-in and play mic. So this is really good, and it's also really useful for me, because when I want to maybe record audio over a video where I've made a mistake or something, then I can just plug it in and it will pop up with an option, and I can click connect, and it's as simple as that. So this thing is literally plug and play, and there's no like downloading different firmwares and softwares to make it compatible or anything like that. It's literally you plug it in and it will work. As far as I've used it, I've not needed any drivers, any software, anything like that. It's just worked on all my computers. So that's really good. So now I'm going to talk about a little bit of a downside to this thing. And it's not really a bad downside. This can be resolved, but it's the battery life. So when you use two AA batteries in the back there, it tends to last me about 2 days. But I do use it a lot, but it's still not that great. Now you can get rechargeable batteries and just recharge them to fix that, but I've been going through quite a lot of batteries recently, which kind of sucks, and yeah. But the good thing is it comes with an AC adapter, so you can actually plug this thing straight into the wall socket and power it that way. So I'm thinking about doing that for maybe my next video, if this thing runs out of battery again, because I'm not going to the store and buying more batteries for this thing. It's crazy. Another bad kind of thing is it takes ages to load when switching on if you're using high capacity SD cards. So right now I have a 2GB SD card in this thing, but when you put in like a 64 or even higher 128, it can take like 2 to 3 or even 4 minutes to switch on, which is kind of terrible. But if you're using 2GB, 4 and 8, then it should be okay, and it normally takes around 5 to 10 seconds to switch on. So I haven't found a problem with my SD cards, but when I was using my camera SD card on holiday, it was a bit screwed up. And I thought the thing was actually broken, but I looked it up and apparently it just takes long to try and partition the SD card and stuff. So yeah. Okay, so on this microphone, you can obviously record a bunch of different types of audio. You can record your guitar music, you can record drums, your vocals, you can even record, like, you can use it as a boom mic. You can strap it on your camera and use it as a shotgun mic if you want, but it's not really that recommended. It's mainly for up close. And if you put it further away, you can kind of hear more of an echo around the room. So yeah. But to try and reduce that echo, you can turn down the recording level so that it won't pick up as much sound around the room. I have mine about 60 most of the time, and I have my volume roughly about 60 as well. I tried to keep it about even. So yeah. Okay, so talking about the actual build quality of the thing itself, I personally think the build quality on this thing is really good, and it's so high quality. I thought generally it would be like quite plasticky or something, because normally, you know, expensive stuff for some reason now just seems a bit plasticky, like tripods and cameras and stuff. Personally, if you're not paying into the thousands, it tends to be a bit cheap. But with this microphone, that doesn't apply. This thing is metal and it feels robust as hell. This thing is so strong. And yeah, if you're looking for a really, really good built mic that sounds great, then this is the mic for you. So personally, I would actually recommend this mic for anyone, because I could think anyone could actually use this in a way they wanted to. This can pretty much do everything you can think of, and you can even use it to work other microphones and make it easier that way. So one kind of downside is that you have to sync up the audio in post-production, but that's not really that much of a problem for me. If you make kind of a snap just in front of the microphone or a clap, then you can generally line them up, and it can be quite easy. It normally takes me like literally a minute to do so that's not really a problem. Okay, so this mic can actually record in multiple different ways. It can record in stereo, 4-channel, and MTR. So that's really good for me. I mainly use stereo. I don't really get why you need 4-channel kind of, but it's there. You can plug in 2 additional ones and get your 4-channel kind of thing going on. If you want to, but I probably won't be using that feature, to be honest, but I guess maybe some people do want to, so it's there. Okay guys, so another thing about this microphone is the recording. So I don't mean the actual sound, I mean trying to record. Now, the first couple times I tried to record on this thing, I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working, and then I realized you have to press the record button twice to record. So the first time you press it, you can live hear it, and it will prepare to record, and then the second time it actually records. So keep that in mind if you get one. Sorry, I had to go change the battery. Anyway guys, another cool thing about this microphone is the fact that it has an inbuilt speaker. Now I know what you're thinking, it's not that good, and it's not. But it's kind of good to have that on board, in case you're out somewhere and you don't have the ability to plug in headphones to listen to the audio. At least you can kind of get a rough idea of how it sounds, and that it actually sounds okay and is bearable to listen to. So if you accidentally have the recording level too high and there's so much noise you can't hear anything and it's just wind, and you'll be able to hear that and retake when you're at the location, so you won't have to come back and plug it into your laptop and then realize that you've made a fatal mistake. So overall, this thing's really good, and the operating system on this is fairly simple. It reminds me a bit of a Casio calculator. But it does have some really great features, and the screen is really easy to see in the sunlight, so that's good. And I just find overall it's really easy to use, so I got used to it. As soon as I took it out of the box, I pretty much knew what to do. So keep that in mind if you're worried about it being too complex. It's really not. It does have a lot of functionality, but it is packed in fairly well. Okay guys, so one last thing that I quickly want to include that I didn't mention earlier is that you can plug it into your camera. Now, I'm not sure maybe if you picked that up or not when I said you can mount it on top of your camera, but you can indeed plug it into the side of your camera. Now, this obviously doesn't sound as good as recording it to the SD card on board, but you can, if you want to, connect it to your camera. Now, obviously your camera needs to have an input for a mic to do so, but if it doesn't, you can just record it on the SD card and match it up. So anyway guys, that's mostly about it. Apart from in the back, underneath the battery cover, there is a button there for stamina, which basically increases the battery life from about 8 hours of constant use to about 13. So yeah, but I mean, I am using this thing quite a bit, so you probably won't use it as much as me. Maybe you will. But I tend to re-record things quite a lot of times, and sometimes I accidentally leave it on, to be honest. But yeah, I do expect the battery life to be a bit better. Maybe if it took 3 AA batteries, but it would make it thicker, so that kind of sucks. But overall, I think it's quite good, and the problems can pretty much be resolved with this thing. So I would highly recommend this. It's a really great mic, and yeah, I will leave some audio samples at the end of this video, and you can check those out. And also, don't forget to check my other videos for the audio as well. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching.